Welcome to an exciting tutorial about how to create a seamless loop within After Effects. Somebody asked us to loop this slow motion flame, but the guy who recorded this, for some inexplicable reason, didn't really loop it, so it jumps. Let's make a loop. Let's pull this onto the Create New Composition button, and now we have the clip in here. As you can see, it still jumps. We don't want that, so let's split it in half. Shift Control D, which makes a clean split. Hold down Shift, put this to the front so it snaps to the beginning of our timeline. And now we have a overlap. So let's animate a fade out of the upper part of our timeline. So seamless means people won't notice that there is a seam somewhere. So the end, of course, press N to bring the marker here. The end isn't visible now, but now the middle is visible, which is also not the desired effect. There are certain ways we can deal with that. One is to just look for the possibility to change from one to the other without people noticing that we are actually changing. The most common idea is to find a place somewhere where they kind of overlap. Somewhere here. And then do our fade right here. Zip. There we go. Almost invisible. But seamless, the seamlessness really depends on what your audience can see, and sometimes this is just too obvious. Also, there is one thing that bothers me. It's the lower flame, so this one is being darkened by the 50% black that I'm introducing with the upper one, where the upper one has its black portions. I don't want that. So if your image mainly consists of brighter parts, and the brighter parts are the ones that you have to loop, that you have to really care for, then go to Lighten. Change the composition mode to Lighten, and now we see both flames in parallel. And if we fade out one of them, it's not that obvious. Problem is, now we see that one jumping in. We don't want that neither. So let's try to fade this one in gently over a few seconds. Now let's have a look. Wow, that didn't look too bad. And now this one. So maybe this is seamless enough for you. It doesn't really jump into your eye, but it's also not really seamless because it doesn't follow the natural disappearance of a flame. How do flames disappear? How do we make this flame disappear naturally? Let's have a look at how a flame dies out, or how a flame vanishes from the image. If we go frame by frame, you can see those portions rising up, then separating from the rest of the flame and vanishing out of the image. So let's simulate this process by drawing a mask. Let's start here and let's pretend that that was the last bit that goes away. So take the mask tool, 2 steps back, and draw a mask around it. Maybe we double M to see all the properties, and feather the whole thing a little. Pull it in a little, and keyframe the mask path. Now to go forward a few frames, and we animate the whole thing upwards, out of the image. Now backwards, and open the mask a little. So this is the mask. This is the flame vanishing. And now backwards even further. And open the whole thing so the mask isn't interacting with our image anymore. Whoops. In theory, we should have a dying out flame. It kind of dies out naturally. Observe the physical process of your image, and if there is some way of simulating this, use it. And now let's do the same with the incoming flames. Solo them, get rid of the keyframes, and let's see where those flames come up. Don't make too many points. Double M, keyframe it, feather it a little, and now let's step back frame by frame and pull those points down to make the mask cut off the flame a little. Back a few frames. And animate a kind of natural appearance of the flame. Just pull this out of the image, make sure nothing's left, and let it pop in. Kind of natural. So now we have a naturally vanishing flame on top and a naturally appearing flame at the bottom of this loop. The seamlessness of a loop hugely depends on what you want to see as an audience. So sometimes the simple fade method is also fine. I hope you enjoy those tutorials on techniques for visual artists on stage. If you do, please subscribe to this channel, share a link to this video in your social media, and I'll be seeing you next time.